Hit Entertainment was a British-American entertainment company which was first founded in 1982 as Henson International Television. The international distribution arm of the Jim Henson Company by Jim Henson and Peter Orton and Sophie Turner-Lang. Orton alone took over the company in 1989 after learning Henson intended to sell the company to the Walt Disney Company. Hit Entertainment owned and distributed children's television series such as Thomas and Friends, Fireman Sam, Bob the Builder, Pingu, and Barney and Friends, and Angelina Ballerina. Hit Entertainment was one of the several partner companies alongside NBC Universal, PBS, and Sesame Workshop that founded PBS Kids Sprout. Many of Hit Entertainment shows aired on that channel as a result of the time. On February 1st, 2012, the company was acquired by Mattel, as Mattel was interested in the Thomas and Friends brand and its acquisition, according to Deadline Hollywood. Mattel absorbed the company in 2016 in March for its then new created division, Mattel Creations. Founded in 1982, 42 years ago, this beginning in the late 80s, Jim Henson Productions began making negotiations with the Walt Disney Company regarding the possible purchase of a merger. Upon hearing these talks, Orton and other employees at HIT convinced Henson to allow them to spin off the distribution arm as an independent distribution company. Following Henson's approval, in October 1989, Orton led management buyout of Henson International Television and reincorporated the subsidiary as a standalone company called Hit Communications plc. Yes, we know that this is the successor to the Hit Entertainment era, but here we go. Under its new name, Hit no longer held distribution rights to Henson's catalog, and instead began acquiring other programs for international distribution, such as Willin Animations, Postman Pat, Bascardian Productions, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and Lyric Studios' Barney and Friends. In 1991, Hit would begin to engage in co-producing shows which they would distribute internationally. One of them being Where's Wally and Captain Zed and the Z-Zone. The company then began to finance and distribute animated feature films such as The Wind in the Willows and Peter Rabbit books. Helping to fund the company was an investment by British satellite and cable television operator Flextech. Took a 23% share of Hit Entertainment for $600,000. The Hit Wildlife Division was created to produce nature and wildlife programming, which provided the company with a 35% of its revenue by the mid-1990s. With the success of Barney the Purple Dinosaur when it came to PBS sometime in the 90s, Hit began to develop its own programming. In 1996, Hit was listed on the AIM to raise funding to use the funding to launch Hit Video, which will produce direct-to-video programming from the United Kingdom. A new character came to the company's attention in 1996 when advertising executive would be cartoonist Keith Chapman. Pitched his idea to Hit Entertainment, and the character's name, Bob the Builder. With a number of other producers had turned down the idea, Hit recognized its potential and bought the rights to developing Bob the Builder, or the Bob the Builder character, into a television series. So Hit Entertainment agreed to produce Bob the Builder in association with Hot Entertainment and soon and later. The deal saw Chapman retain a share of the copyright and also a contractual clause which sees his name appear in all media and merchandise related to the Bob the Builder character. In 1997, Hit increased its capitalization and moved to the primarily London Stock Exchange, whose funding Hit would use to develop some of its original series, including Bramley Hedge, Percy the Park Keeper, and Kipper, which became its first hit on ITV. In 1998, Hit formed its own animation production company, Hot Animation. Yes, Hot Animation, which is produced by the company themselves. The same guys who made the infamous Rubber Dubbers and Pingu. Yes, a few. Alongside with a feature-length specials, direct home-to-video, music videos, and other stuff that they produced. The BBC network, the British Broadcasting Corporation in the United Kingdom, agreed to broadcast Bob the Builder after Hit signed a series of American broadcasting deals, starting with Nickelodeon for Kipper, expanding to Stars and Encore, with the Bramley Hedge and Percy the Park Keeper television series, HBO Family for the Anthony Ant cartoon series, and Animal Planet for the Wildlands Ocean World Wildlife Program. Kipper won the 1998 BAFTA Award for Best Children's Animation. By the end of the year, Hit offered another group of shares. In 1999, Hit Entertainment had 10 first-run television series in the U.S. and started an American subsidiary. In April, Bob the Builder successfully debuted on BBC. In June, sometime in July, the company made another public offering of stock. An American deal for Bob the Builder was signed in December with Nickelodeon to air Bob the Builder for Nickelodeon's Nick Jr. block starting in January 2001. Mattel then signed a 5-year licensing agreement for the development of the Angelina Ballerina television series. Which in reality, that Angelina Ballerina was based off of children's book series. From 2000 to 2004, Hit, which had been suggesting that it intended to expand its character through acquisitions, nearly founded a partner in early 2000 when the company held talks with Brit Allcroft, the British company which held the licenses to such popular characters like Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Captain Pugwash, and Scooty. The two sides were unable to agree on a price. However, the merger fell through. Bob the Builder continued its success and with the #1 record in December of that year. In December 2000, Hit's U.S. division entered in a home video partnership with Lyric Studios, home and the owner of Barney and Friends, for distribution of Bob the Builder and Kipper releases. The early partnership was an early plan for that led to Hit Entertainment purchasing Lyric for $275 million, which would in turn give Hit Entertainment a marketing and distribution network that will introduce its properties to U.S. audiences, vice versa. The deal would help expand Barney's international presence, which was what Lyric needed at the time. The chief executive of HIT, Rob Lars, was the driving force of the acquisition. The Lyric acquisition encouraged HIT Entertainment to pursue new acquisitions. In May of 2001, some first few Bob the Builder VHS volumes were released in the United States by HIT Entertainment and Lyric Studios. While the company signed the deal with Series to have Bob shops in their retail stores, the Jim Henson Company owner EMTV was in financial trouble over its purchase of 50% share in Formula One racing rights. And HIT joined a number of companies willing to purchase TJHC. In October 2001, HIT's bidding for Pingu BV was accepted. In April of 2002, HIT sold its wildlife division to the newly formed Parthenon Entertainment, which was owned by the former managing director for HIT Wildlife, Carl Hall, with its 30 hours of programming and production, and its 300-hour library was transitioned into the management buyout agreement. Also in 2002, the board of Gellline Entertainment, the company who produced Shining Time Station, The Magic Adventures of Murphy and Thomas and Friends, would get purchased by HIT Entertainment for $139 million. The television series, like Thomas and Friends and others owned by Gellin will be owned by HIT Entertainment. Following Fireman Sam as well, after a purchase from C4C Entertainment. It's the same company who made Fireman Sam with HIT Entertainment. Oh, probably not. Maybe. However, as everybody looks back at the Thomas and Friends model era series, the 2002 era might be the downfall of the Thomas and Friends series after HIT acquired Gellline Entertainment, and things would completely go from bad to worse. HIT Entertainment officially opened its Canadian office in Toronto. In March 2003, CCI Entertainment, the Canadian affiliate of Gellline Entertainment, who had owned a minority stake in CCI shares prior to the HIT Entertainment purchase, announced that they ended their partnership with HIT Entertainment and reacquired their shares in the company, including all their programming libraries, which made out half of Gellline's catalog. The shows CCI we acquire were put into the company's CCI releasing subsidiary. HIT Entertainment's next series was Rubber Dubbers, which aired in September of that year. Rubber Dubbers would then air on Nickelodeon United States for the Nick Jr. block in 2004. On April Fool's Day 2004, HIT Entertainment and the Jim Henson Company agreed to a 5-year global distribution and production deal, with including distribution of 440 hours of TJHC's remaining library, including Fraggle Rock, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, The Hoops, Jim Henson's Mother Goose Stories. In addition, the agreement also included the production of new properties, including Francis. And if you don't know what Francis was, it was a television show which I remember I watched, though it was on demand, in which both companies co-produced. Both companies co-produced and owned the copyright to the series, while firing its chief executive Rob Laws in October 2004. The company announced its launching of a 24-hour preschool channel known as PBS Kids Sprout in conjunction with PBS, cable provider Comcast, and Sesame Workshop. And so, And so then on, Hit Entertainment would partner up with PBS for PBS Kids Sprout, which launched on September 26th, 2005. But at first, in April 2005, it was launched as an on-demand service, but it did get a channel later in fall in 2005. However, before PBS Kids Sprout launched, on March 22nd, 2005, Apex Partners purchased Hit Entertainment for $489.4 million, taking it private, with former BBC director Greg Dunk becoming chairman. On August 26, 2005, Hit announced an agreement with NBC Universal, PBS, and Sesame Workshop to launch the world's first 24-hour preschool channel entitled PBS Kids Sprout, with Hit supplying programming for the channel as a result at the time. With some Hit Entertainment shows to air on the channel are the same things I just listed, like Barney and Friends, Pingu, Android the Ballerina. Yeah, you get the point. But also added Big Sister Little Brother. I don't know about that kind of show, though I do hear about it, but I never watched it at this point. So bummer. So following the purchase by Apex Partners in 2006, Hit closed its DVD sales and distribution arm in the U.S. and contracted with the 20th Century Fox Home Television Entertainment for DVD distribution. Soon the distribution deal ended and was transferred to Lionsgate Home Entertainment, who distributed Hit Entertainment's videos from May 2008 to 2014. Hit Entertainment would continue to sell and distribute its own DVD output in the United Kingdom. On March 22nd, 2007, S4C announced that they had sold their 50% stake in Fireman Sam to Hit Entertainment, taking full ownership of the franchise. S4C would remain an executive producer for upcoming seasons and retain all Welsh language rights to the property. In September, the company and Shadow Media formed a joint venture to run the Jim Jam Children's Channel. Hit Entertainment opened its own toy company, the Hit Toy Company. In October 2007, after failing to supply ITV a new series of Scooty the previous year, Hit announced that they had put the Sooty Limited Bridge Films venture up for bidding for sale. This consisted of both Scooty and the Magic Adventures of Mummified, an earlier Brett Allcroft creation. Allcroft herself would reacquire Mummified in March 2008, while Richard Cadell would purchase the Sooty franchise and brand in June 2008. In 2008, Hit hired former Nickelodeon executive Jeffrey D. Dunn as chief executive and moved DVD distribution from 20th Century Fox to Lionsgate. Dunn drove the company to create new characters, including Mike the Knight, and to revitalize existing brands. In February, Hit sold the Genius Records brand, acquired through Hit's acquisition of Gellin Entertainment to Ripley Entertainment. If you don't know what Mike the Knight is, I'll just gonna have to summarize it anyway. It's a CGI animated television series that debuted on Treehouse TV in September of 2011, and then it debuted on Nick Jr. in the U.S. Additionally, this is probably going to be the final time that Nickelodeon and Hit Entertainment would be airing a Hit Entertainment part-type co-production show before parting ways after Hit Entertainment would be purchased by Mattel. I don't know where Mike the Knight is right now, but being co-produced in CGI animation with Chorus Entertainment's Nelvana Studio Limited. Shortly after, in March 2009, Hit Entertainment started its Hit Movies division in Los Angeles with Julia Peshtor as division head to create film based on the company's franchises, with the live-action Thomas and Friends film being scheduled for late 2010. In early 2010, Hit Entertainment licensed Thomas and Friends to Mattel for toys. By August, the company withdrew from the Jim Jam joint venture, but agreed to continue providing programming for the channel until the absorption into Mattel. In April 2011 would see the end of Mattel. Would see the end of Hit Entertainment and would see Hit Entertainment get acquired by Mattel. In April 2011, during the effects of the NBC Universal and the Comcast merger, with leading NBC Universal to basically get full control of PBS Kids Sprout, Apex Partners put up Hit Entertainment for sale, with the option to sell the company in two parts: Thomas and Friends franchise and other Hit Entertainment franchises and characters, with its PBS Kids Sprout stake, with either parts or separately. Several bidders came forward, including the Walt Disney Company, Viacom, Mattel, Hasbro, Classic Media, now DreamWorks Classic, held Korean and Saban brands. Mattel would purchase and buy Hit Entertainment from Apex Partners. By April 2011, Fireman Sam was the top 10 UK best-selling character toy, according to NPD Group. Then their next program, Night to Night, a co-production between Nelvana, aired on Treehouse TV and CBeebies later that year. So, in October 2011, Apex Partners agreed to sell Hit Entertainment to Mattel for $680 million, excluding its share of the PBS Kids Sprout television channel. Why? What's the intention of not excluding the share of the channel? Seriously? Thomas and Friends and Barney and Friends and Pingu were all part of PBS Kids Sprout at the time. Why do I have to exclude the share part of PBS Kids Sprout if PBS Kids are still airing those Thomas and Friends and Barney and Friends at the time? We may never know. The sale and merger was completed on February 1st, 2012, and Hit Entertainment became a wholly owned subsidiary of Mattel, which was managed under its Fisher-Price unit. Due to the success of the Thomas and Friends brand, which accounted for 80% of Hit's revenue, there was a talk of Mattel wanting to purchase that franchise rather than the entire Hit Entertainment library. Mattel had already worked alongside Hit Entertainment in handling marketing for Thomas and Friends toys. Then in 2012, it was reported that Mattel was considering selling or saw a buyer for Barney or Angelina Ballerina, but they eventually reversed their decision and kept them for a while. Angelina Ballerina would be converted into CGI next to Bob the Builder, while Barney and Friends would continue being live action up until when Mattel would change Barney and Friends up for the greater of the future, beginning in fall 2024 or this year. Hit Entertainment announced a DVD distribution deal with Universal Pictures Home Entertainment on May 2nd, 2014, in which Universal began distributing their catalog for Blu-ray and DVD electronic sell-through and video-on-demand platforms in the United States and Canada. Then in early summer 2015, the Adiville USA Amusement Park in South Carver, Massachusetts opened a licensed Thomas Land theme area based around Thomas and Friends. On October 6th, 2015, Hit Entertainment announced a long-term partnership with Nine Story Media Group to relaunch Barney and Friends and Angelina Ballerina. Then on March 31st, 2016, Hit Entertainment was absorbed by a newly created division called Mattel Creations, and Hit Entertainment brand officially left the airwaves, never to be seen again. With Hit Entertainment gone, this means everybody was either upset and not happy with this. So at the matter of which this Hit Entertainment to gain acquired by Mattel would be the final nail in the coffin. Yes, a final nail in the coffin. And while Hit Entertainment was still in PBS Kids Sprout at the time, and Hit Entertainment would bring in and distributed shows for the United Kingdom. Those being Roy the Racing Car and Fifi and the Flower Tots. Yes, both of them. And yes, Roy the Racing Car is mentioned. Roy the Racing Car and Fifi and the Flower Tots would be getting a US dub. So that means because PBS Kids Sprout is American, Fifi and Rory must have US dubs. But unfortunately, this didn't sit well with audiences and people who likes the Rory the Racing Car series. Or Fifi and the Flower Tots as well. While Fifi and the Flower Tots seemed like an unforgettable show, obviously it deserves more love. We need to talk about our focus on Rory the Racing Car. Yes, Rory the Racing Car. So let's see what's talk about. Let's talk about this. Rory the Racing Car had aired on June 13th, 2007. And Rory the Racing Car first aired on May 7th, 2007 and ended in 2010, 3 years later. When both Rory and Fifi and the Flower Tots came to the US, Hit Entertainment took the distribution rights. Even with Fifi, the theme songs were produced by some Hit Entertainment executives. And it's very amazing that Keith Chapman was the same creator who made Paw Patrol. He's even a creator of Mighty Express. Oh my goodness. You gotta admit, Keith Chapman literally made a few shows under his watch. These all include Bob the Builder, Fifi and the Flower Tots, and later Paw Patrol and Mighty Express. Yes. But wait. What about Fifi and the Flower Tots? No, I don't think so. If I don't think so. Oh wait, it is. Oh wait, Fifi is also created by Keith Chapman. Well done, Keith. Keith. Your shows were nice and incredible. Oh, now when Rory the Racing Car came to the U.S., since Sprout is American, that Rory and Fifi both must have American voice casts, while some character names were still retained. Some may have been renamed, with like Plugger changed to Lugga. Don't know why. Drifter known as Draga, CC known as Zizzy, okay, and FB as Truxy. Okay, just kind of lose my mind. And any and most of which, even some, even the only human character that has been that had also had his name changed was PC Pete, aka Officer Pete, and the animal character Flash or Furs, an anthropomorphic rabbit, was also got a name change. So thankfully, none of the other characters didn't get renamed though. Oh, I did. So yeah. So at this point, the U.S. So the U.S. dub of Rory the Racing Car wasn't well received, pretty much. So nowadays, Rory the Racing Car is now airing on Peacock. Is now on Peacock using the original UK dub instead of the American dub, because I think the later series of Rory the Racing Car were never been redubbed because Hit Entertainment has officially lost the license to the show when they got purchased by Mattel. And you know what happened? Yeah, nobody didn't care. So nobody didn't even archive the US dub of Rory the Racing Car, nor Fifi and the Flower Tots. Some episodes of Fifi and Rory were found, and some of them are lost. So that means Fifi and the Flower Tots US dub and Rory the Racing Car US dub are now lost media. That's not good for Rory and Fifi. That's not very good. Not a great thing. And I feel like Mattel shouldn't have bought out Hit Entertainment to begin with. Besides, Hit Entertainment would have only brought in, well, if only Hit Entertainment would have brought in a few more DVD releases, probably about Rory the Racing Car in the U.S. and Fifi and the Flower Tots in the U.S. Then both of them wouldn't be lost media. I know. My only guess for the fact that the idea would have been much more good and possible if Hit Entertainment would have been absorbed by Mattel. I mean, yes, Mattel may be the greediest company though, and they did ruin Thomas and Friends though. But maybe just maybe they still do have the Hot Wheels toy line though. So I can't blame. So while I didn't care about what type of changes that the shows had, and I was just so praised by some great animation and more. Seriously, Hit Entertainment might have messed with some shows though, but they did a great job with distributing those shows and helping a few companies. So so even though Hit Entertainment became a forgettable company, they don't deserve to get forgotten, because don't forget they were the main guys behind Bob the Builder when Keith Chapman pitched in the idea back in the 90s to create the Bob the Builder TV series. So yeah, and some people are suggesting me to find the rest of the episodes of Rory the Racing Car in US dub. However, I did come upon some research that I found some episodes of the Rory the Racing Car dub via a playlist. Some of the episodes of the US dub of Rory were in low quality, though. So because they were recorded off the TV, but they are the closest we can find. But what about Fifi and the Flower Tots though? Oh, well, this is kind of hard to explain. it probably the show's probably forgettable at this point. It doesn't deserve to get forgotten because it had a U.S. dub as well. I mean, I mean, what's the? Everybody needs to scatter around to find more pieces of lost media pieces of each show and channel and block of off some channels and such. But nobody, but not all people are going to archive them. They're not some sort of archivers. So I'm just imagining any type of U.S. dub of a show from Britain that I can ever think of when I used to watch PBS Kids Sprout. The U.S. dub of Bob the Builder, the U.S. dub of Fifi and the Fire Tots, and Roy the Racing Car at this point. And then when I was little, I watched the Pingu series, and it was also made by Hit Entertainment alongside with a few people who pitched the idea about Pingu. So this is the closest that I can come upon with. So yeah, I'm just hoping that more Rory the Racing Car U.S. dub parts are being resurfaced with the episodes and such. Because I don't know if the U.S. dub of both Rory or Fifi or forgettable or not. I say they're not gonna be. I say they're underrated, and just because they have U.S. dubs, they don't deserve to get forgotten by the public. Besides that, do you want to know who has been dubbing in shows that were from Britain and from the United Kingdom? Cartoon Network. Twice. First there was the Peppa Pig U.S. dub, then the Bane U.S. dub. What you think Hit Entertainment is the only one who was distributing and dubbing some shows in the U.S.? No, Cartoon Network did it too, twice. First, Peppa Pig back in 2005, when Peppa Pig was part of the floppy defunct Tickle U block, starting in late August 22nd, 2005. Then in came the Bing TV series, which had a U.S. dub as well, but it was not well received. Both U.S. dubs of those shows were not well received. And nowadays, Peppa Pig is now airing on Nick Jr. using the original United Kingdom dub. But what about the Bing TV series that Cartoonito/Cartoon Network aired? Well, fictionally, the Bane is nowadays airing on Tajmir Jr. using the original UK dub instead of the American dub. Yes, a fictional preschool brand airing a show in the original United Kingdom dub. Tajmir Jr. is also airing Rory the Racing Car in the United Kingdom dub as well. Anywho, in conclusion, while Hit Entertainment did a good job on making a few shows and some of their originals in house, they did mess up a few things, but nevertheless, the company's not perfect, but it did do a good job in receiving television series. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What show from Hit Entertainment were you what show of Hit Entertainment were you watching back in your childhood years? Did you like certain shows that Hit Entertainment had made before they got absorbed by Mattel? Thank you guys all for watching, and until next time, stay tuned.